What's up guys, today I'm reviewing Mary Poppins Returns. And guess what? Mary Poppins Returns, this is the sequel to the original Mary Poppins. Sets, I think 20, maybe 30 years later than the first one. So, the Banks family children are growing up now, they're falling on hard times though because their house is about to get repossessed. Mary Poppins comes along to take care of the kids, teach everyone a few lessons, and hopefully make things a little better. So what did I think of this film? I didn't like it. Yeah. Mary Poppins Returns, not that good. Now, don't get me wrong, it does have its good qualities. Let's talk about the story first, though. The story is just bare bones and basic. You've got a beginning of a story where the house is being repossessed and Mary Poppins does come in to help things out. Then you've got the end of the story, which you can probably predict what's going to happen at the end. Then the middle is just kind of empty. It's just Mary Poppins and the kids getting up to a bunch of shenanigans. Mary Poppins trying to teach the kids a few lessons and trying to tell them, being a kid is fun. Use your imagination. It helps pass the time and so on and so forth. The big problem with the film and the story is that it's not really a sequel. It's more of a remake or a reimagining of the original. It follows the same beats as the original. It's got similar songs and moments as the original. There's a whole animated sequence which is clearly trying to pay homage to the original. It just doesn't feel like they've ever wanted to actually make a true follow-up to the original film. Instead, they've just kind of done the original film again, but a little different. So that's disappointing. It also doesn't help that the story is very predictable. The story isn't all that original. The story isn't all that interesting. In terms of the characters and the cast, though, the cast is actually pretty good. The adult cast, that is. Emily Blunt is great as Mary Poppins. As soon as she comes on screen, everything just brightens up a bit. Almost literally as well, by the way. It's a very colourful film when she's there. She's full of charm, full of character. She's the best thing about the film. The problem is that towards the end of the film, she doesn't really have much to do. She's just kind of there for most of it. Then you got Lin-Manuel Miranda, who is fine. Again, he's just kind of there for most of the film. Like, he literally just pops up out of nowhere half the time, and it's just bizarre. It's almost as if he's stalking everyone. It's really weird. But yeah, he's there, clearly trying to be the new Dick Van Dyke. Dick Van Dyke, by the way, shows up in this film. Brilliant. One of the best parts of the movie is when he shows up. You've also got Angela Lansbury there, who, again, brilliant. She's great towards the end of the film. Colin Firth plays a very stereotypical banker character who is clearly inspired by certain characters from the original movie. Then you got Ben Whishaw and Emily Mortimer, who are great as the grown-up Banks children. In fact, they're probably the most dynamic characters in the whole film. While I did like Emily Blunt, she's kind of the same for the whole thing, but then she's kind of meant to be, I suppose. Julie Walters is in the film, but she doesn't have much to do. Then let's talk about the children. Child actors have problems, let's say. It's not always easy finding good child actors. Sometimes you might strike gold and really find someone who's really talented, but this film has not done that. Two of them are fine, one of them is terrible. So I'll just leave that there. In terms of production, the film moves along fairly well paced, but again, nothing really happens in the middle. You could chop out a bunch of stuff in the middle and just get rid of it. There's a whole section with Meryl Streep's character who, Meryl Streep, by the way, totally out of place in this film. She is playing such a cartoonish and outlandish character that it even makes Mary Poppins look normal. And it's just weird what she's doing in this film. And I don't know what the direction was. I don't know why they've made this such bizarre character. It's very colourful, very bright, like I said, but it's also very moody at times as well because it is set in, I believe, a pre-World War II Britain. Might be post-World War II, I don't know. It never really defines where the time is, but it looks like it's around that period. So this is a musical, so it's pretty important that the music's good. And it's not good. It's not good at all, in fact. With films like this, you have to have at least one song, in my opinion, that's catchy, that you can remember the tune to, or the rhythm to, or that you can tap your foot to, that's got some words or phrases that you can remember that are really quirky and fun. Nothing like that in this film at all. Now, in fairness, the original Mary Poppins probably only got such memorable songs after repeat viewings. Maybe that's going to happen here, I don't know. But none of the songs really stood out to me. None of them were that unique or original. There's a song that's clearly trying to be its own version of the chim chimney chim chimney chim chim chiroo, and it just doesn't work at all. So that's what I thought of Mary Poppins Returns. I did not like it. And just to give you my thoughts on the original, by the way, I think the original is perfectly fine, good film. Yeah, Emily Blunt is great as Mary Poppins. She's the highlight of the film. You have got Dick Van Dyke and Angela Lansbury in there towards the end. They do make things a little better. But everything else is just so by the books, so very basic and bland. Very little originality in this whole film. I'm not going to go into spoilers. There's not much else to say. I've kind of said everything. The film is very predictable. So, yeah, that's what I thought of Mary Poppins Returns. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @LeonSkullGrantBurton. You can subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate that. Give me a thumbs up as well if you like this video. Leave a comment and feedback down below. Let me know what you thought of Mary Poppins Returns. I imagine you liked it more than I did, because I have looked up some reviews since I've watched it, and people seem to pretty like it. So yeah, let me know what you think, and until next time, thanks for watching.